Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Coach Cafe Radio, the self-empowerment place to meet where you get your weekly cup of inspiration on Blog Talk Radio. And today is Wednesday, December 6th. And here in the Coach Cafe, I offer enlightened conversations about what matters most. I offer interviews with top self-empowerment coaches, experts, and authors. I share proven and effective life coaching tools, techniques, and processes to help you to live your best life, and I am definitely spreading the word that life coaching changes lives. I am your host, Certified Master Life Coach Kathleen Martin, also known as your Balanced Life Coach, coming to you live from the beautiful Hamptons, New York, as I do each week. And I invite you to join in on my enlightened conversation by calling 646-649-1015. That's 646-649-1015. And you can also post your questions and comments in the chat room if you're on your computer. And I also want to send out a very big thank you to all of my followers. And if you do like what you hear, I would love and appreciate it if you would follow me here on Blog Talk Radio, which is right there on the homepage under the banner. And, of course, on social media, which is Coach Cafe Radio on both Facebook and Twitter. And you can find out all about Coach Cafe and the previous shows on CoachCafeRadio.com. And this is the 7th year offering enlightened conversations here on the Coach Cafe. It's very eclectic. I cover topics from happiness, health, wealth, and relationships, sex and career, to the law of attraction, energy, psychology, angels, and more. So just click on any of the pictures on the homepage or the guest gallery tab, and you will be led to be able to listen to the show. They're all archived for you to listen back. It's very fast-moving here in the Coach Cafe. So I always recommend that you listen more than once. We share so much, and it's pretty fast-moving, so I hope you have a pen and paper. And be sure to listen back, and please do spread the word, because sharing is caring, and there is so much to offer. There's something for everyone here in the Coach Cafe. So today the name of my show is The Awakened Feminine Spirit. The Awakened Feminine Spirit. And tonight I'm thrilled because I have a co-host. We're co-creating this wonderful experience of the Awakened Feminine Spirit, Dr. Monica Bennett. And there is an awakening happening, and it's being felt within the heart of women around the world. It's called the feminine spirit, and it can't be contained. The world needs to change in all areas of leadership, in the home, in family, and in government. You know, the Dalai Lama is quoted as saying that it's the Western woman that will save the world. And we do need each other. This is no time for separation or competition. And the old paradigm is breaking apart. I'm sure you can sense that now with everything that's going on. And women have the ability to rebuild our families, communities, and government into places of love, peace, harmony, health, and prosperity. So we invite you to enter into the sisterhood of awakening women who are opening to the spirit within, listening to the voice of wisdom, and tapping into the grace that is necessary to accelerate the healing that we need today. So let me tell you more about my wonderful co-host. Dr. Monica Bennett is a naturopathic doctor and an independent licensed success consultant. She is here to take you to the brink of possibility, to the path of infinite probability. She has owned and operated a successful horticultural business for over 20 years, and she now integrates the law of the natural world into her coaching practice. So you can find Monica at monicabennett.biz. So welcome, Monica.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. That was a beautiful introduction that you spoke, and it's so true.
You.
It's all about women collaborating, cooperating, and creating a new path, that a new way, right?
Oh, absolutely, Monica. And we've been talking about something that we would co-create because we are so passionate about our purpose and on this planet, and we both paralleled each other's lives here and became life coaches. We first became nutrition coaches, and it's remarkable the parallels in our lives. And I'm so thrilled that we're co-creating this, and we finally awakened feminine spirit to be able to really influence more and more women to really step into who they are, and like you say, shine that light, that internal light out into the world, because wow is the old paradigm breaking apart, right?
Absolutely. It's really, we can't go backwards. We're yearning for something. There's something more that we're yearning for, and it's not stuff. It's not things. Those things, it's all well and good. There's nothing wrong with having and manifesting physical form, and that's part of the joy and fun of things and manifesting and being here on this planet. However, the condition of the world, as we see, has been raped and pillaged, and that's a very masculine way that it has gone about, of just destroying, killing, all this masculine way of doing things. And we need the masculine, but we need the masculine to wake up to the feminine side and realizing that doesn't work anymore. That way doesn't work anymore. We need to come from the heart. We need the compassion. We need to embrace each other as one and collaborate, as I said before, collaborate and cooperate with one another, and seeing a new path. How can we work together? How can we balance the masculine and the feminine, but raising the bar for the feminine, for we all can take responsibility. It's time for us, as Dalai Lama said, it's up to the Western world to change, to heal the world. We need to take that responsibility, and to do that, we need to, as he said, speak up, stand up, do whatever it takes to tap into our empowerment, so we won't fall back and become that submissive second seat, so to speak, and really embrace our power.
And this, you can't. I believe right at this point in time, you can't neglect your role that you have to play here, because if you do, you can see the outcome all of this time. If you look historically, and there's certainly a lot of conversation, a lot of wonderful, wonderful, powerful women who found their voice and used it, and now, of course, because of the Internet, you can easily hear their voice. And, it's very interesting because I watch many different influencers in my life that I believe are definitely worth listening to. And it is remarkable, Monica, how when I'm watching groups gather together and they are in places of power, the absence of women is so glaring that we can't do that anymore. We just can't do that anymore. And that masculine paradigm that has been in control up to this point is definitely showing organically, naturally and normally, because there's so much more going on in life than meets the eye, that the planet itself will not allow it to go on anymore. And
exactly.
it's going to show up. It's kind of like, your body, okay? Your body, if you abuse it, you can keep doing it, but it will get pretty big and loud if you don't stop doing that. And there's another reason, because there's a spirit in there. And that spirit wants to flow, and it wants to be able to be all that it is. And if you try to contain it, it will get bigger and bigger. And, we don't want it to get bigger and bigger in the sense that it needs to be a dis-ease to get your attention. And that's what we're in such a state of out of the ease right now that you can't, it's so big now that we're poised, and it's a very exciting time. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. This is a wonderful time to be alive because of all the change is bubbling up to the surface. And in naturopathic terms, it's called a healing crisis, where it's healing it's coming from the inside, but it's bubbling up on the outside. Everything is spewing up, and all these movements and all these feminine movements are bubbling up, and the Me Too movement, and everyone's speaking up now, but it needs to come to the surface. We need to talk about it. We need to express it and communicate about it so it doesn't get repressed, depressed, and suppressed.
Yeah, that was great. And you know it if you're listening, and as advanced as we are as women, no doubt about it, the people who have preceded all of this that were taking that risk to use their voice and be pretty darn loud were, definitely challenged at the times that they stepped out into pre-paving this road that we're all on here. But one of the things that I feel in our message together, Monica, and as we continue this conversation, we welcome you, by the way, to come to the Awakened Feminine Spirit on Facebook. We've started a Facebook page there to get involved with the community, like we are saying, with the sisterhood of awakening women, because we really do need to stop doing some of the things that women unconsciously do, which is perhaps to have more of their ego in control, and to understand that, is important, that it's just a natural part of you. But if you're feeling like you are separate from other women, that it's more competitive, that you're still very body focused, you don't feel confident if you aren't perfect, and you aren't willing to be visible and raw with all of you, because let me tell you, when you enter into these different stages in your life, as I have begun to notice, and we've shared this, Monica, that when you are entering into the wisdom, that not that we're not wisdom our whole life long, but flow of wisdom after your 50s and 60s, at the time when a lot of the culture would say that you're heading in a direction where you are becoming less than, is a very old, it's not even a paradigm, it's just an untruth. And we want to influence women to step into your power no matter what age you are, but I'm telling you, it is wonderful. The I like to call it maturing into life and evolving into greater, that there's so much for us all to share with each other, that this is the time to really be a part of the change that's occurring in such a wonderful way, right?
Yeah, we have masculine and feminine in us, and I know for myself, I can speak. I know I have a lot of feminine, and I think very feminine. I'm very creative, but I do have that masculine side that I needed to really look at and see how it was serving me and how it wasn't serving me, as you said. My ego, in the past, I would get into trouble because I wouldn't listen to my intuition, which is very feminine. I would discount it, and there were little pins that pangs and knocks on the head that would say, Monica, that's not what you should use, that's not to your best interest right now. And
Right.
I would ignore it. And when I ignored it, I always got into some kind of hot water. So it's listening to those quiet whispers. It's really listening to those quiet whispers. And as women in corporations, we try to fit into that rigid role of that masculine and compete with the men, and it doesn't work for us. That's why so many women get, as you said, dis-ease, because we burn ourselves out. We flow on oxytocin, which is the tend and befriend hormone.
Right.
When we're in that hormone, we're giving, we're loving, we exude goodness, kindness. People want to be around us. But when we try to be like a guy, talk like a guy, just hang out with the guys, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you try to, it's hard enough just being yourself. Trying to be somebody else and trying fitting in with the guys in a way to climb that corporate ladder, we'll burn out, stress out, and really exhaust ourselves. And that's where that dis-ease comes in, because we try to fit into that masculine, rigid role that it's not even serving men anymore. So forget about serving us women.
That's such a great point. It's not even serving men. And we need to be in that, when you're in your heart, one of the things that I share every week is the education from, and I'll share this resource, write it down, heartmath.org, to educate about the intelligence within your heart. And we've been very focused in the intellect, and to put a lot of credence and value on if you are intelligent, with the more intellectual part of you that is showing up, being able to achieve a lot. True, maybe you went through even to the point of creating a corporation as a woman, which is rare. It's still very rare. That's why we want to make it more balanced here. And that you're looked at as quite an accomplishment, but if you have left the heart's intelligence out, the feeling within you won't feel good, and it will be prone to making choices that are not good for you, like to keep up. You don't pay attention to how stressed out you are, so you don't practice self-love every day and have practices that keep you grounded in that part of you that's going to support you through the hardest of times in your life. And if you don't pay attention, I have a firm belief, I know we've shared this, Monica, and it's certainly agreed with wonderful resources like Dr. Christian Northrup and other very powerful influencers for women in health, that the reason why we are having these reproductive dis-eases, right, is because we are not practicing what we need to practice every day to be in the world now, because it's a rare woman that doesn't work, right? And that mothering part had to be, put aside for work and there's work-family balance that started to be discussed because women were out in the workforce. But if you don't pay attention to you, your spirit will get very loud, and you don't want it to have to be a message from your breasts and your ovaries, right? Where they are screaming out for your attention to get into a balanced state of being, and take very good care of yourself. And just notice if you're starting to reach for things like food, and alcohol and drugs and too much sugar, and making the excuse that, you're just stressed out, so you're going to eat like that or behave like that. It will kick your butt, and you don't want that, right? So the awakened feminine spirit, it really takes the time to be quiet and go inward and listen, right?
Absolutely. It's I always say so many people are in a trance, and what we want to do is awaken people, men and women. You go to work. A lot of women and men go to work on the Long Island Railroad, or driving to the city or someplace in rush hour. So when anything is, you're in rush, it's fear. And fear, you go into fight or flight, and which causes all kinds of anxiety and stress in the body. And then after work, what do? You go to happy hour where you know yourself and go back into the trance again. So it's insanity.
Right.
So it's really awakening ourselves to and having the humor to understand this, because humor and being a human is part of being human.
Yeah, very good.
and it's there's the IQ, then now there's the EQ, emotional intelligence, and now we have CQ, which is communication intelligence. But I really think if we need to have an SQ, which is your spiritual intelligence, and to wake up to that, really realizing that's where we need to embrace ourselves, to take the time to connect with that spiritual part of ourselves and find that place, that soothing, that comforting, the deep breaths. There's so many tools, techniques, and strategies that we can implement in our lives to balance ourselves back to feeling whole, feeling healthy, feeling just in peace and at ease with ourselves.
Yes, it's a natural flow. So, this would be a good time, Monica. If let's go back and forth a bit, because it is so fast moving. It's remarkable how fast the show goes. But I want to share some real, solid daily practice that you can begin to use right away. You don't have to. It's easy. You don't have to take a lot of time. It's easy to implement into your life, but the rewards are so great. So if you don't mind, I'm going to share one, and then we can go back and forth with some real solid practices. And one of the first ones I recommend is to put your hand on your heart. Just put your hand on your heart, because I guarantee you're disconnected most of the time from that part of you, where they've proven this. I mean, they know that the heart has an electromagnetic field and the earth has an electromagnetic field. And when you get into a balance between the systems that are running within your body, you're resonating with the earth's electromagnetic field, and I'm telling you, you will feel the difference in that you will feel more relaxed and at ease. You'll feel that general sense of just of feeling good. You're not noticing how bad you feel most of the time. You have energy that flows. How many times do you hear people go, I'm so tired, right? I'm exhausted from it all, right? And there is a field of energy that you're sharing here, and it's not just you. It's we're all one, and we are sharing, and it's a lot. There are different frequencies in there, and a lot of it is pretty dense. So put your hand on your heart and take deep, long, slow breaths, where you're just literally just counting to the number 6, and you deeply breathe out to the count of 6 for 2 minutes. That does come from heartmath.org, and that will get you into what's called coherence. And you need to get into coherence every day. So that simple technique, I'm telling you, is golden. So, if you can take yourself aside to a quiet place, even if you go into the ladies' room at work, you can do this, okay? So just take the time for 2 minutes to connect, get into that space within your heart, and it will help you with everything. It will help you with things that you have to do every single day with your family, or if you're working, and with your colleagues, and with problem solving. It's remarkable. So that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, I have my hand on my heart still right now, and I just grounds me, brings me back to this just warm place, and that's just a beautiful way to reconnect with when you're starting to get out of balance and losing yourself. So that's definitely a great tool. And I what I like to do also when I'm working on the computer, or I start to focus when I do a lot of writing, and I have to sometimes concentrate for a long time, and then sometimes if the computer gets a little screwy and it's not working the way I want, and you can get frustrated, I take the time and I move the energy. We live in an ocean of motion, and when you get up, move around, move your body. Maybe if you can, put on some music. If not, just move. Again, take a walk. Do something to change the vibration, as you said, the frequency. You've got to move it around a little bit because it gets stagnant. Like anything else, things can get stagnant. And when you come back, you have a fresh set of eyes. You change the energy. Your computer can start working better. Well, it's amazing how when you just step back and just move things around, it's like Feng Shui or Tai Chi. It's all about moving the energy. It's all about moving the energy, and we can move that energy when we're soft about it. We don't force it. When we try to force ourselves on something, we're resisting. We're resisting something, and what you resist will persist. So it's going to buck you right back, and move away from it and just change your energy. Get in a better feeling. Get in a better vibration. Put your hand on your heart, as you said, or just move around. Take those breaths. That connection to breath is key. And with anything that you do, remember to breathe. And great, yeah, that's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. You need to pay attention to yourself. You know, you're either conscious or you're unconscious, and it's remarkable that you can be walking and looking like you're actually conscious. You're walking around, you're talking, you know. And as women, don't we have so many plates spinning with what needs to be done. We're still kind of stuck in that old paradigm too of I'm going to suggest, I hope it's not in your home, that the communication between if you're in a partnership and you do have a family, that it's cooperative and that you are feeling quite honored, both of you honoring one another and even being so intuitive, you know, when you need what you need, and that you aren't trying to do it all. This is a very common thing for when you're trying to do it all, that syndrome, right? You're gonna take on all of the parts. You can't do that. You have to ask for help more. That would be another thing that I would
delegate.
Ask for help. Delegate. Ask for help. Don't. If you find yourself pulling back from that, notice it and question it, and say, you know, why am I not asking for help? Start to question your thoughts. Why am I not asking for help? And you know, is it true if I do everything, then I will be loved more, or something like that? That's our coaching. That's how our coaching can help you to sit down and really get involved with the beliefs that you have been given, because you have literally been given your beliefs. You weren't born with them, and if you have a belief that maybe you downloaded from your mother, that it's, you know, the woman's role to do everything, and if you don't, and everything isn't perfect, then you're not perfect. All that subconscious stuff, right, Monica?
I was there. Believe me, I was one of those women.
Yep, me too. And boy, I'm telling you the truth. You are going to be okay. By the way, you're not going to be loved any less if your voice gets heard. You know, in fact, the love inside of you is going to be so activated that you'll realize that, you know, that's the most important love, right? Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's funny that you'd be surprised how people want to serve you even more.
That's true.
When you step back.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you step back of that role and start to delegate, and it's so that's a real good point, Kathleen, to delegate, because I'd done it before. I thought I could do it all, and I thought that's how I was validated myself, and I downloaded that from my mom and from my aunt, and who were born in Europe, and that real Zoptic, hardworking, and I can do this and I can do that. But no, I realize that delegate. I focus on just a few things that I want to accomplish, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, look, we are strong. We give birth. You know, if you're a mother, you certainly know the extraordinary experience that is. But even if you aren't, you know, haven't had children, and that you gave birth, you give birth all the time to ideas and businesses and all of these other things that do go through similar experiences. There's a gestation period, right?
That's right.
And you need that strength to know that you're going to be able to nurture and build this experience with whatever it is. And we were designed by whatever you want to call your creator to be able to navigate a life experience that is quite challenging most of the time, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, Monica and I, with the awakened feminine spirit, where you need to take this seriously now, ladies, because you know what? A lot of your sisters are doing things that are harmful to themselves, and we need to help. It's time for us to no longer, you know, make excuses. Like, it's okay if I do this thing that's definitely not good for you. Definitely not good for you. And to be able to stop and question and go, now, wait a second. One of my favorite teachers, Matt Kahn, you can go to him as well, mattkahn.com. You know, as you're doing things, say, is this the healthiest thing I can do for myself here, right? Question, because there's a voice inside of you that's going to get loud, and it's going to stop you from doing things that are harmful. Why would you do something that's against yourself? Well, because you're unconscious right now, and you need to wake up, wake up and listen to the feminine spirit that's going to guide you in such a way that you won't even have the thought to do something that is going to cause you any harm, right? And we have an enormous amount of women, and not just women, both women and men, of course, on antidepressants right now, and this needs to be paid attention to. And the reason why, why would you need an antidepressant? Is it because you're not taking really good care of yourself and listening to that inner voice and trying to do everything yourself and being stressed out and strung out, and so you're ingesting things that aren't good for you and can actually cause depression? Notice how much sugar you're eating, right, Monica? We talked about sugar.
Oh my gosh,
and,
that's huge.
Mention that the author of the book that you referred to me about sugar recently.
The Hacking of the American Mind by Dr. Robert Lustig. Dr. Robert Lustig. And what sugar is doing to our hacking, it's really destroying our lives. Basically, the diabetes is on an all-time high. It's causing metabolic syndrome within the body. Fatty liver, which is horrific, and just the concentration level is not there. It's not being able to be focused, and all kinds of control that's going in our mind that's taking over who we are. It changes who we are physically, psychologically.
I mean, notice this. Yep.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Notice it, right, Monica? I mean, like we were talking the other day. If you think it's okay to go into the supermarket, right, or some, whatever you do, if you're working and it's your lunch break, or you run down to the deli or something, and you're choosing something that's not good for your body, stop. Just stop and take a deep long breath and say, is this the healthiest thing I can do for myself? Because once you start to do this practice, you will start to activate this relationship with yourself that you need, so that you don't do that. Because as Dr. Lustig describes, and other wonderful resources about sugar, and please, if you're a parent, don't let your children eat it. It's literally a neurotoxin, and it is causing so much trouble today, and it's causing depression. And if you think you're going to run down there and eat something that's filled with sugar, and it's going to lift you up and then crash you down, and then you're going to need more and more of it. It's like heroin. And in fact, that's what they've proven. It is the same neural pathway. So something as what you think is benign as eating really inferior food that's processed and has a lot of sugar is actually causing the stress that you feel. Certainly it's going to cause your system to go so way out of whack that you'll start to create such a hormonal imbalance that you won't be able to lose that weight that you're carrying around because you're eating like that, and then you won't have the energy to move, so you're not moving and burning the calories to be able to be healthy and thriving and have this flowing going on. So, listen up. It's really important. These things are so important. You can't ignore it and make excuses for it. You just can't.
No.
So,
once your blood sugar gets out of whack, it's like a domino effect for all your other hormones to just start going on the decline. And that's the first hormone, the first one, the insulin. And once that gets whacked out, it's again boom, 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 boom. Your body is on a downward cycle. So you're so right on with that. The sugar is such a huge, and unfortunately they make it so enticing. All the commercials and the candies right there and the pretty colors, and they grab you to buy. And we become consumers with everything. It's such a insidious trance that we've been programmed to go into, and it's time, as you said, to wake up to a new world, because in every front of the world it's in crisis. In every front, environmentally, socially, politically, educationally, financially, and it's all what I think is a spiritual crisis.
Absolutely,
again, it all comes back to your spirit. And reconnecting who we really are as this beautiful human body that we have this vessel that carries us around, this temple. And that's why, as you said, to treat this body as a temple. This is the body we to move in, that we're able to navigate through life and circumstances and travel and do so many wonderful things in this form. However, if we're thinking negative thoughts, if we are eating foods that do not serve us health-wise, and associating with people who bring us down, all these energy vampires that we can surround ourselves with, just be aware, become awakened to all of this. And that's why you need people like Kathleen, myself, a community that uplifts and keeps you in that higher vibration, so you can. We don't want to do this alone anymore. We want women to come together to assist each other in a community-based form, so we can really rise together. That's the way we're doing it.
Absolutely. And what our intention is, and we are getting close to the end, Monica, so I want to just kind of bring it around to the intention behind the Awakened Feminine Spirit in the ability to be able to share this kind of discussion and this dialogue and the wisdom between all of us and help each other. So if you're sitting there and you are a mother and you've got daughters and sons, of course, and you are, remember they're learning from you. It's an unspoken experience here. If you're a friend, a sister, an aunt, certainly a partner, a wife, or in some way, shape, or form, be that example of someone who really taps into that feminine spirit every day intentionally. You don't get your head up off the pillow anymore without plugging yourself in and realizing, you're kind of walking around in the illusion of the, endless form here. Eventually, you're going to step out of this form and go off. At least this is my belief, into another life experience. But while you're in this one, honor it and really time to connect in and be conscious there, because you can tell when you're not. It's designed to give you information when you're not. And if you ignore it, don't worry, it will get bigger. And I personally have dedicated my life to prevent as many people as I can from it getting that big where it's so, it's just painful. And you don't have to be that. You don't have to go there. There's so many things you can do every day. And we'll be sharing more and more and more. So, anything else you want to share, Monica?
It's what you remind me when you say these words is stay in gratitude, stay in appreciation and gratitude of life. And when you stay in gratitude for what we already have, more comes to you. So just being grateful and appreciate just having running water, sanitary conditions, and that's the goddess of health. Her name is Hygeia, and that's where we get the word hygiene from. And we've left her out of the medicine that we use today, and we combat with the masculine again, which we need, but we also need to understand that Hygeia was the one who eradicated all diseases, the tuberculosis and the whooping cough, and all these communicable diseases that we're seeing coming back with a vengeance because of hygiene issues. So that sacred feminine hygiene, running water that we take for granted every day. Be grateful for all those things. We're very fortunate. The Western woman, we're going to change the world.
Yes, indeed. Yes, and this is serious. You cannot be sitting around thinking, "Oh, it's okay." It's not okay. So I love that. That's a great way to. It's not. It's definitely not. Look around you. Stop putting blinders on. Stop thinking it's somebody else's problem, right? And take a look and start within your own self, and then extend out. Look in your own circle here. If you're, in your own home, and then in your community and out into the world. This is our role to play. And I'm telling you, we can bring it back. Everything can be healed. Everything can be healed. So there's an energy within us that connects us all together. Being in that state of gratitude is a wonderful way to end the show. Make sure that you are acutely aware, not just a little aware, acutely aware, and you will be amazed at what gets activated in you, and you will be a part of the solution, right? So that's what the purpose of our show is, and so I hope that you'll join us the next time we have the Awakened Feminine Spirit show, because this is an ongoing conversation that needs to be repeated and repeated and repeated, and that's how we learn. And it becomes then your pattern and your habit of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking and then becoming. So we have a lot to share, right, Monica?
Beautiful. Beautifully said, Kathleen.
Yes, we co-creating is where it's at. Whenever two or more are gathered and you're unified, oh my gosh, get ready, right?
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cool. That's great. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Monica. This has been great. So, until next time then, right?
Absolutely. Till next, it's to be continued.
To be continued, absolutely. And once again, to meet Monica, you want to go to Monica, BENNETT.biz, and you can find me at KathleenMartinCoaching.com. So that's with the letter K, KathleenMartinCoaching.com. We're here for you, so reach out to us. So thanks, everyone, for listening, and we look forward to meeting you again for more of the Awakened Feminine Spirit. So have a great night, everybody. Thanks again, Monica.
Good night. Yes, good night, Kathleen. Good night, everyone.